Igarashi Gurimu's Genius Killer Malicia is one of the dirtiest and most annoying tricks you can run into as a blue lock player. It's so effective that it even forced 2 fouls out of our boy Genius Itoshi Ren. If the other team doesn't deal with it first, this sneaky move could help Igarashi's team win the match. But Igarashi isn't the only one with crazy skills. Blue Lock is packed with players who have insane and sometimes straight up superhuman abilities, whether it's their insane physiques, ridiculous speed, or signature shots. So hold on tight, because starting with Genius Killer Malicia, I'll explain the most powerful weapons in Blue Lock, and by the end, I'll reveal the most broken ability that can make everything else on this list useless. Genius Killer Malicia is basically the defensive version of Igarashi's Malicia dribbling. He makes himself look like an easy defender to get past, but the second you take the bait, this sneaky monk turns the tables, making it seem like you fouled him. And just like that, you get hit with a card. It's the perfect counter to Ren's Berserker mode, since Ren, when he's in full attack mode, charges in without a second thought. Igarashi just waits for the right moment and uses it against him. Spoiler alert, this weapon was countered soon after, and just like that, Igarashi's usefulness in the game was gone. Nico is literally the earliest user of Metavision. He just didn't know that the skill he had been using all this time was called that. Nico had been using Metavision, or rather a weaker version of it, since the early stages of Blue Lock, and even during the U20 game. We saw this in how he orchestrated team-wise plays as the secret leader, and in the U20 match when he shut down Sei and Shido's attacks. Nico finally unlocked the full version of Metavision during the Ubers vs Bastard Munchen match. With it, he could steal the ball from Isagi, read the field better, and calculate the success rate of a play, like how likely he was to take the ball. The only issue is that he hasn't fully mastered it yet, so he still has blind spots. Simply put, Nico's field of vision is still narrower than Isagi's. Oliver Aiku is easily one of the best defenders in Blue Lock, and he's got a weapon that makes his defense even better. He first developed Metavision during the U20 match when he entered the flow state and blocked Yukimia's shot. However, unlike Nico, Aiku's Metavision lets him see accurate data on both his teammates and opponents through graphs and numbers. He can even predict what his opponents will do next based on probability, which makes it easier to shut down their attacks. Like Nico, Aiku didn't realize the skill was called Metavision until he faced Isagi in the Neo-Egoist League. Once he did, he used it like a total cop, locking down Isagi's plays at every turn. Isagi was getting straight up mad because all of his plans kept failing thanks to Aiku. Gagamaru has a perfect weapon for the Neo-Egoist League goalkeeper, his insane reflexes. Gagamaru is super flexible, which lets him control his own body however he wants. Combine that with the reflexes he sharpened in Blue Lock and he can block almost any shot. This guy even did a handstand block during the U20 match. In the Neo-Egoist League, he stopped Baro's shot while Baro was using Predator Eyes. And what's even crazier is that he adapted to it right after failing the first time. On top of that, Gagamaru also saved Bastard Munchen from losing by stopping Chris's Wild Knuckleball and Ren's Berserker shot. Nagi Seishiro's trapping skills are straight up genius level. He can instantly relax his body and use it as a cushion to control the ball. When it comes to this ability alone, he's even better than the world's number 2, Chris Prince. In the Neo-Egoist League, Nagi uses his trapping to make his first touch as impactful as possible. This is called Zero Reset Turn, Nagi's new playstyle that develops his creativity and allows him to make plays on his own. This trapping skill has led to many insane weapons, including his juggling shot and 2-stage fake volley shot. When he reunited with Ryo and they played together again, Nagi entered the flow and pulled off the 5-shot revolver fake volley, completely dominating Isagi's Metavision. The only problem is that Nagi lost his creativity and now needs the right ego and motivation to pull off this move again. I mean, Ego literally called this shot a fluke. After getting abandoned by Nagi, Ryo had to find a way to survive in Blue Lock on his own. More than that, he needed to get stronger so he could stand beside Nagi again. And from that desperation, he developed Chameleon mode. This style has 2 different modes, Chameleon Defense and Neo-Chameleon Striker mode. With these, Ryo can copy other players' weapons with 99% accuracy as long as they match his physical abilities. So, he can't just decide to be as fast as Chigiri or become ambidextrous if he wasn't naturally born that way. Even so, Ryo's all-rounder skills let him imitate a wide range of techniques. In the Neo-Egoist League, his goal is to become a mix of Ren and Sei. He's already copied moves from more than just them, like Aiku's Total Defense and Nagi's Trap Pass. After making up with Nagi, Ryo even developed Metavision to set up Nagi's 5-shot revolver fake volley with a perfect Neo-Egoist pass. Teppei Nero's lightning fast speed is a weapon that sadly got nerfed in the Neo-Egoist League since the guy hasn't even had a chance to play. But back in the U20 match, we saw just how fast he really is. Neru can accelerate in an instant, and as a speed-type defender, he uses this to keep up in physical duels. He even managed to mark Yukimia with ease, limiting his movements and shutting down his options on the field. Yes, the Wanimaru brothers' telepathy isn't really a physical weapon or even a mental weapon on the level of Metavision, but I'd argue it was still effective for them in Blue Lock's first selection. This unique weapon only works when they're on the same field as teammates. But rather than some magical telepathy, the truth behind this ability is just eye contact. That's why Kiseki can understand Junichi, even when Junichi mostly communicates with grunts and noises. Kazuma Neo's Doberman Charge is one of the most physically pressuring weapons in Blue Lock. This weapon is possible to use because of Kazuma's dominant physique and core strength. During Doberman Charge, Kazuma uses his shoulder to charge himself into opponents and block their dribbling courses. Unfortunately, when he tried it against Ren in his berserker state, he was utterly destroyed. There are a lot of Metavision users in Blue Lock, but Hiori's Metavision is one of the best. In fact, it's so rare that he can see the same vision in Isagi, and let me tell you, only a few players can do that. That's exactly why Isagi convinced Noah to sub in Hiori instead of Kiora against Ubers. He knew the team needed a game changer, someone who could bring fresh ideas into the match. And Hiori was that missing piece. Hiori is an elite passer, and with Metavision, it's like he can see everything on the field without even looking. He shares this winning vision with Isagi, which lets them connect without even making eye contact. Hiori dribbled past Uber's defenders, including Nico and Lorenzo, before delivering a no-look pass to Isagi, setting up the game-winning goal. And if that wasn't impressive enough, he pulled off another no-look pass against Paris X-Gen, outplaying Charles Chevalier. This pass even set up one of the craziest weapons in Blue Lock, Isagi's 2-gun direct volley. Chigiri's 44-degree Panther Snipe is a golden formula he developed in the Neo-Egoist League under Chris Prince's guidance. This weapon is a goal-scoring machine, a move designed to mass-produce goals. Here's how it works. Chigiri positions himself in his golden zone, a sweet spot that he's most comfortable and has the highest chance of scoring. For him, that spot is 19 meters from the goal at a 44-degree angle to the left. From a standing start, he bursts through defenders at Mach speed, cutting in until he reaches the zone. He doesn't even need a perfect shot, just a controlled strike aimed at the corner, and it's almost guaranteed to go in. So what makes this possible? Simple. Chigiri has genius-level speed and a natural muscle structure that he's relied on since he was young. With the body-centering technique he honed in Blue Lock and Chris's Body Revolution training, the 44-degree Panther Snipe was born. Bachira's Monster Trance is a unique weapon born from his inner monster. It's a complete trance state that kicks in when Bachira enters a challenge-focused mindset. And since he already has insane dribbling skills, including elastic dribbling in its egotistical version, this flow state just makes him unstoppable when he's using all of his skills perfectly. In the Neo-Egoist League, his Monster Trance evolved into Jinga X Monster after he combined Lavenhose movements with his own monster tricks. His dribbling posture completely changed. It even looks like he's not moving forward at all despite having tons of options. Instead of just charging ahead, Bachira now dribbles in response to the defender's actions. As Isagi put it, Bachira learned to make more mature choices instead of attacking like an impulsive child. And how did he achieve this? Simple. He didn't just evolve himself, he evolved his monster too. Aiku Himizu is Blue Lock's master of fakes and a genius of lies. His weapon is his ability to see through others' lies while also creating his own believable deceptions to fool opponents. For example, he might say he's passing to Karasu or Otoya, but in reality, he's actually setting up Kiora instead. Himizu's deception goes beyond words. He applied it to his feints and dribbling too, which allows him to slip past Chigiri and score a goal. When he enters this trance state, even his aura changes. While it's not officially a flow state, half of his face turns into a mask, similar to how Bachira's aura transforms in his monster trance. You might not know this, but Kiora has been dubbed a grounder specialist utility player by Nagi thanks to his insane weapon, his breakdancing skills. Despite his small frame, Kiora has incredible strength and body control, allowing him to pull off a backspin accelerating shot, even when Baro and Nagi are trying to block him. He can touch the ball so many times that even Nagi can't predict where it will go, or go full-on breakdancer mode with his twister pass. Kiora also has a borderline philosophy. He thrives in life or death moments. To make himself shine and take credit for plays, he sides with who he thinks is the underdog. In the Neo-Egoist League, he enters full flow state mode, seeking the borderline spot to deliver a pass so perfect it sets up Kaiser's Impact Magnus. This says a lot because even Ness wasn't able to do it in-game. Leonardo Luna is the scion of Real Madrid and a world-class pro player. Since we only saw him in the World 5 match against Ren and Isagi's team, we're basing his main weapon on what we've seen so far. And that goes for the rest of the World 5 players on this list. Luna's got insane dribbling skills, lightning-fast reflexes, and a sharp eye for weaknesses. The moment he spots an opening, he pounces on it instantly. His hyperspeed scissors makes full use of his speed, allowing him to toy with pre-NEL versions of Ren and his team without breaking a sweat. Yukimia has a whole arsenal of offensive weapons, so let's break down the best one. As Blue Lock's one-on-one emperor, he's known for his aggressive dribbling, particularly his street dribbling style. This makes him extremely difficult to stop in one-on-one duels, as it allows him to slip past defenders effortlessly, even against international level players, as seen in the Manshine City game. His signature shot is the gyro shot, but in the Neo-Egoist League, he developed a new technique inspired by Chris Prince's illogical knuckleball, the sword screw. This shot secured Bastard Munchin's winning goal and even earned him an offer from a team willing to help with his eye condition. That's a huge opportunity. Speaking of his eyes and his tendency for tunnel vision, Yukimia unlocked Predator Eyes in the Paris X-Gen game. While Charles stopped him from scoring, we can bet he'll be putting this new ability to work soon. Ita Otoya's ninja stealth walk is all about smooth dribbling and off-the-ball movement. This technique lets him slip through defenders' blind spots with ease. While Chigiri and Zantetsu rely on pure speed in a straight line, Otoya waves through defenders using slick footwork and curved movements. This skill set makes him a perfect match for Karasu, and when Otoya levels up, his shadow steps takes things even further. By combining it with tiki-taka passing, he can sync up with Bachira, whose unpredictable rhythm is usually impossible to read. Since we're talking about off-the-ball movement, we can't forget about Miroku Darai from the Japan U20 team. But unlike Otoya, Darai applies this skill on defense. He has an insane ability to smell his opponent's movements, almost like an instinct that tells him exactly what they're going to do next. This makes Darai a top-tier man marker. In the U20 match, he even locked down Otoya and limited his impact on the game. He even tried to mark Baro, but in the end, he couldn't match Baro's extreme physicality. Quick timeout. Before we dive into Charles Chevalier's Playmaker Eyes and reveal the weapons of the remaining World 5 Master Strikers, if you're enjoying the video so far, make sure to stick around until the end and hit that like and subscribe button. Alright, let's kick off! Charles Chevalier's Playmaker Eyes is a unique type of Metavision that mixes his field awareness with his contrarian nature and thrill-seeking instincts. Charles has the ultimate contrarian spot, which works kinda like Shido's feel-good spot or Kiora's borderline spot. With this ability, he can sense the perfect position to make a game-changing play, whether it's setting up an attack or stealing the ball to shut down his opponents. His Playmaker Eyes let him sync perfectly with Shido, assist Ren, and even team up with Karasu to shut down Isagi and Kaiser's offensive play. Shido isn't just insanely flexible with crazy reflexes. His real weapon is his extreme spatial awareness. He can sense the goal's location when he's in the penalty area without even looking. Unlike Metavision, which tracks the whole field and other players, Shido's awareness is laser-focused on the goal. When he enters the flow state, this spatial awareness gets even sharper, letting him feel the goal's position even outside the penalty area. With this ability, he pulls off no-look goals, drive shots, drag and drive, and even the big bang drive with Sei's assist. Don Lorenzo, one of the new generation World 11, is known as the Ace Eater, and this moniker alone is a perfect name for his weapon. When it comes to man marking, Lorenzo is arguably the best in blue lock. It doesn't matter if you're an ace. In fact, especially if you're an ace, he'll devour you. The only time Kaiser scored against Ubers was when Lorenzo got baited into turning his attention to Yukimia. Kaiser seized the moment to fire off a Kaiser impact, but if Lorenzo stays on you the whole match, you're not scoring. Aside from defending, Lorenzo's positioning, physical ability, and vision are top tier. And when he's on the attack, his zombie-like dribbling throws the entire field into chaos, setting up Uber's deadly counterattacks. Now, when talking about New Generation World 11, we can't forget Itoshi Sei and his set of weapons, perfect for a world-class playmaker. Unlike Yukimia or Old Bachira, who plays aggressively, Sei's dribbling style is passive. He carefully observes defenders' rhythms and smoothly dashes past them the moment he spots an opening. As someone aiming to be the world's best midfielder, his passing skills and game awareness are next level. That's why he's the perfect partner for insane chemical reactions with Shido. While we haven't seen him use his classic Metavision eyes, there's a strong chance Sei already has it, or maybe even a more advanced version. Next on this list is Baro's mid-range shot, which works similarly to Chigiri's Golden Zone. He positions himself 29 meters near the middle of the goal while aiming for the top right corner. And when he fires, it's almost guaranteed to go in. Even Snuffy acknowledges that this shot is already top tier, especially since Baro has the best stats to become the pure striker in the Neo-Egoist League. However, a world-class goalkeeper can easily block it. To take his shot to the next level, Baro needed a new ability, the Predator Eyes. This lets him strike the moment the goalkeeper drops their guard, while also positioning himself where the keeper can't see him. By using both teammates and opponents as cover, Baro transforms his mid-range shot into a deadly stealth kill shot. Predator Eyes itself is an insanely powerful weapon, and it's not just about one-on-ones. There's a lot more to how it works. If you want to learn more about Predator Eyes and all the other eye types in Blue Lock, I highly recommend checking out this video before jumping back into this one. Kaiser Impact is the fastest shot in the world when it comes to swing speed. In fact, it's the only thing where Noel Noah himself has been beaten by Kaiser. This right-footed shot uses every ounce of Kaiser's strength at once. It is so fast that even when Isagi first saw it, he immediately thought Kaiser was a genius. Spoiler alert, he's not. The Kaiser Impact lets Kaiser score even when it seems like all his shooting angles are blocked. This is all thanks to Predator Eyes, which allows him to tunnel vision into a tiny gap defenders haven't covered. On top of that, he has Metavision, giving him a full field view so he can position himself perfectly, make plays, or even shut down Isagi and other opponents. And then there's Kaiser Impact Magnus, an even deadlier upgrade of Kaiser Impact. This version has a perfectly calculated rotational force, making it even harder to predict. The problem is that Kaiser needs the ball to stop for a split second before firing. With Kiora's perfect pass though, Kaiser unleashed a Magnus shot and scored against Parasek's Jin. Ness is the magician of Bastard Munchen, and when we say magic, we're referring to this. You see, while Nanase is Ren's official property, Ness is Kaiser's loyal puppy, or at least he was until Kaiser dumped him. Ness is the beating heart of Bastard Munchen's Kaiser-centered system. His movements and passes, which we call his magic, are all designed to set up the perfect pass for Kaiser's Kaiser impact, which most of the time leads to goals. But this isn't 100% effective, as there are times when his passes fail to work their magic for Kaiser. This magic turned into some kind of dark magic when Ness decided to play for himself and slowly accept the fact that he and Kaiser were over. His aura shifted, and his passes took the form of a magic circle. This is Ness's declaration of war against Kaiser. Ironically, this very magic spell ended up setting Bastard Munchen's winning play against Parasec's Jin. But in the end, it wasn't Kaiser who received it was Isagi. Everything Noah does is based on pure logic and extreme rationality, and that includes how he plays the game. He's got the strength to overpower defenders, and the acceleration to hit top speed instantly. On top of that, his dribbling is machine-like, and he always positions himself perfectly to break through opponents. But as Isagi pointed out, Noah's greatest weapon isn't just his perfect physique or sharp mind. It's the fact that he can use both legs with equal power. This rare ambidexterity is one of the key reasons he became the best in the world. On top of that, Noah has a unique flow state eyes. They look like a mix of inverted eyes with flow state eyes at the center, and his aura takes the shape of geometric patterns. This happens when he's in full ego mode, like when he reveals that he was only using Isagi to awaken Kaiser, as he hopes that Kaiser would become his rival and push him to get even stronger. Kunigami was originally known for his powerful left-footed shot, but after his own secret training arc, he came back as a carbon copy of Noel Noah. You see, the Wildcard program was designed by Ego to create a blue lock striker with physical abilities similar to Noah. It's a hidden survival program for players who failed the early stages of blue lock. You could even call it a second chance, but only one could make it out, and Kunigami was the last one standing. Now, with a more muscular build and newfound ambidexterity, Kunigami can kick with the same power using either foot. He's also strong enough to overpower defenders and even shut down Shido to make it impossible for him to play the way he wants. Nanase's ambidexterity is a weapon he only recently discovered, and it's all thanks to Rin. In the Neo-Egoist League, Nanase realized that if he wanted to survive in blue lock, he had to become a support player. While training with Rin noticed something surprising. Nanase's right and left kicks had the same power. Turns out, Nanase was ambidextrous this whole time and didn't even know it. Now, Nanase uses this weapon as a post player. He helps create space or set up plays for Rin. Chris Prince is the world's number 2, and all his stats are S-ranked, maxed out at 100% across the board. You see, Chris has this concept called Body Revolution, and he's been implementing it on every Manshine City player, of course, starting with himself. Chris has the perfect body, even among the master strikers. With this, he can easily toy with Kaiser and fight Noah on equal terms. Speaking of Noah, Chris has developed the perfect weapon to counter his logical moves. His unstoppable knuckleball is an illogical shot, the world's most random shot. In fact, it was so unpredictable that it almost won Manshine City's game if not for Isagi stepping up to intercept it. Lavanho is the best in the world when it comes to catching his opponents off guard, and he does it with his insane dribbling skills. His movements and way of thinking are so unpredictable that he can keep up even when Noah is the one defending him. He's also quick to spot and exploit openings, like when he used Isagi as a wall to pull off a rainbow flick past Noah. And that's just the start. With his rising dance, Lavanho weaves through defenders like he's breaking their ankles. As they fall one by one, they become victims of Lavanho's dance of defeat. If no one stops him, it's a guaranteed goal. Aside from Mark Snuffy's physical specs and movements influenced by Jujutsu, this overall best player in Blue Lock, above Noah by the way, is a talented learner with Metavision that is on a higher level than even Isagi or Kaiser. Snuffy uses his Metavision mid-game to decide what design is perfect to use, depending on the situation. Mind you, this man has so many strategies and attack patterns in mind that he can just switch to another and adapt easily to whatever the opposing team throws at him. Snuffy's Metavision has gotten to the point that even if Kaiser or Isagi reads what he's planning to do, he's already a few steps ahead, so it's nearly impossible to stop his plan anyway. Not to mention that Snuffy's ball-keeping techniques and off-the-ball movements are naturally world-class. Even Noah has no idea how to stop this man when he's on the field. We first see Julian Loki's Godspeed during the World 5 match, where he breezes past Isagi like it's nothing. And in the Neo-Egoist League, he only gets faster. Loki's speed is on another level. He's probably faster than both Zontetsu and Chigiri. What makes him even scarier is that he can hit top speed quicker than anyone else. A perfect example is when he blocked the Kaiser impact, which might be the fastest shot in the world. The moment he saw it, he took off instantly and still managed to stop it. Dashing through multiple defenders is a no-brainer because underdeveloped logic is not enough to beat Loki. Just think about it, this guy is so fast that he could literally make Kaiser impact look slow. When Snuffy subbed in during the Ubers vs Bastard Munchen match, even Noah had no clue how they survived those 3 minutes without losing. That's when Isagi stepped up and put Raichi in charge of shutting down a small part of Snuffy's attack patterns. Raichi pulled it off thanks to his new main weapon, the stalking man-mark defense. Unlike regular man-marking, Raichi positions himself in front of Snuffy within a 2-meter radius. If the ball enters that space, he's allowed to steal it, but his real job isn't to steal. He just needs to stay in that area no matter what, and that's possible because he's been training hard and improving his physicality in the Neo-Egoist League. Planet Hotline is a move Corona came up with so he could keep up in the Neo-Egoist League as Isagi's post player. This move utilizes Corona's speed and vision to give Isagi the perfect pass while making life harder for their defenders. With this, Corona also set up a 3-man planet hotline with Noah in addition. This planet hotline is also the main reason why Corona is among the best partners for Isagi. Their compatibility is not bad, and with Corona's weapon, Isagi can make plays in the Neo-Egoist League much easier. You see, this is a topic we've covered in more detail in this video, where we explain all 15 most egoistic duos in Blue Lock. If you haven't watched that yet, you're definitely missing out. Tabito Karasu is best known for his feints and how he controls the ball using his hands, but his true weapon is actually his Assassin Eyes and Metavision. At first, Karasu used his Assassin Eyes to prey on the weak. He analyzed the gameplay of every opponent, finding their weakest link and targeting them first, knowing that breaking them guarantees victory. But in the Neo-Egoist League, Karasu took things a step further. Instead of hunting the weak, he started targeting the enemy team's central player. If he could shut them down, their entire team's play would suffer massively. And with Metavision, Karasu could read the game in real time and even shut down both Isagi and Kaiser with Charles backing him up. Aoshi Takemitsu is Blue Lock's muscle bullet. His main weapon is his insane physical strength and limitless stamina, something he's been training long before he even joined Blue Lock. He's so physically dominant that even ripped players like Baro struggle to outmuscle him. In the Neo-Egoist League, Tokimitsu even knocked Noah down just to stop him from scoring, though it ended up as a foul. With this raw power, he plays alongside Nanase to make sure Rin has an easier time on the field. Tsurugi Zantetsu's speed is still one of the best in Blue Lock, and it hasn't been nerfed at all in the Neo-Egoist League. But while he's fast overall, his real strength lies in short distance bursts. Within a 10-meter zone, he can react instantly to plays as long as he, the ball, and an opponent or ally are in that same space. If the actions move beyond that range, it gets harder for him to keep up. This ability shines the most in counterattacks, which is exactly why Parasex Jin uses him as a key player in their Shido-centered system. Even before this, Zantetsu showcased his insane acceleration when he and Chigiri pulled off a speed-type chemical reaction. Agi is known as the Doctor of Manshine City, and his biggest weapon comes from his natural build, which was further refined through Chris's body revolution. He's taller than most players on his team, so when Manshine City faces Bastard Munchen, there's no one who can compete with him in aerial battles. Thanks to his long limbs, Agi can reach the ball first, whether it's in the air or on the ground. On top of that, he has a world-class football technique, making him the perfect support for Nagi's creative plays. Just like Agi, Jubei Aryu's biggest weapon is his height, long reach, and insane jumping power. He can reach the ball in ways that most players can't even dream of, which is why he was considered the best in Blue Lock when it comes to aerial battles. Back in the U20 match, he even saved a crucial goal when Gagamaru almost couldn't stop it. Now, as a main player for Ubers, Aryu is using this height advantage according to the designs and strategies of the team. Even if it's against Kaiser or Kunigami, Aryu can still outreach them in the air with ease. And speaking of height and reach, there are other minor Blue Lock players who use these as their main weapons, like Kento Cho and Yukio Ishikari. Even Haru Hayate, the tallest player in Japan's U20 team, could make use of it if he wanted to. Adam Blake isn't called the goal junkie for nothing. Unfortunately, we haven't seen his full goal-scoring abilities yet. But what we do know is that he's physically strong enough to easily knock down Takemitsu, who, at the time, had the highest physicality level in Blue Lock. That alone says a lot about how powerful Adam really is. Next up, we have Pablo Cavazos, the best free kicker in the world. His main weapon is his perfect kick accuracy. The moment he makes contact with the ball, he can precisely control where it's going, whether it's a pass or a shot. But that's not all. While it's not officially confirmed, there's a moment where Pablo quickly scans the field right before delivering a perfect vertical spinning pass to Dada Silva. This means he has a high-level form of Metavision, but we'll have to wait and see if the series confirms what type it is in the future. Dada Silva, on the other hand, is an upgraded version of Aryu. He has one of the most powerful physiques among the World 5 players, and his jumping power is top-notch. Aryu isn't even a match for him. Silva is constantly executing headers whenever the opportunity comes, and when it comes to aerial battles, he's completely unmatched. Rin's curve shot is so accurate that even Ryo tried to copy it. This move was Rin's go-to shot in the early Blue Lock stages and in the U20 match, but in the Neo-Egoist League, he takes it to the next level. By adding different spins, he evolves it into a devilish spinning mid-range shot, first pulling it off against FC Barca, and it shocks even Isagi. But his shooting isn't the only thing that makes Rin dangerous. He also has two signature eyes. First is the Flow State Berserker Eyes, which unleashes all his destructive urges. In this state, he becomes a monster willing to crush his opponents, even if it means destroying himself in the process. It reached a point where he completely dominated Bastard Munchen, but he refused to score because he wasn't satisfied, feeling it wasn't enough for his evolution. Then, at the peak of the Parasex Jin vs Bastard Munchen match, Rin developed the Predator Eyes, which allowed him to tunnel his vision and focus on shutting down Isagi and Kaiser's connection using defense as his weapon. As the main protagonist of Blue Lock and a key striker for Bastard Munchen, Isagi has a ton of weapons at his disposal, but in this video, I'll go over his most powerful ones. First up, his direct shot, which is a move he's been developing to keep up with his rivals in the Neo-Egoist League. This led to his 2-stage lefty direct shot, and then his craziest creation yet, the 2 Gun Direct Volley. Inspired by Nagi's juggling shot, this move was born on the spot when Rin and Kaiser tried to shut him down. It's a combination of his right and left direct shots. Now, onto his vision. Isagi's Metavision is unique. It looks like jigsaw puzzles, completely different from Snuffy, Nico, or Aiku's versions. This lets him scan the field with a wider view and use real-time information to adapt to the plays of both teammates and opponents. Then, in the Paris X-Gen match, Isagi evolved his Metavision into Awakened Metavision. By accepting that he's a talented learner rather than a genius, he let go of all distractions, his rivalry with Rin, and malice towards Kaiser, focusing only on winning. Treating himself as a tool for victory, he teamed up with Kaiser and used his new Metavision to shut down Rin's genius plays, and ultimately got the luck he needed to end the match with a goal. And that's a wrap on every game-breaking weapon in Blue Lock. If you could master one of these weapons, which one would it be? Drop your pick in the comments and see who else thinks the same. If you enjoyed this breakdown of Blue Lock, you'll also love our deep dive into other awesome series like Naruto and Kaiju number 8. Click here to check it out.